One.
Well, Vince, this is an AMG C63S, as you can see. It's been hit fairly solid right in the rear here, and as you can see inside, there's lots of electronics and wiring, and so we've got to be really careful that when this job is done, it's fixed to right back to factory specification.
Well, I mean, isn't that incredible? That's where the spare wheel used to be.
Yeah, well, no spare wheel anymore. It's just all electronics.
Incredible. I guess they're on run flats.
The other thing I wanted to point out to you is that when repairers are doing a job, this part here, called the beaver panel, is squashed in here. So therefore, when it's welded, it requires all these special sealers to duplicate factory looks and factory specifications. So to try and do that is very, very difficult. It looks a little bit sort of strange, but you have to try and duplicate all of these sealers. Once you weld these things, they're impossible to get it looking right. However, we try to make it exactly like the factory, and these are very important issues.
Yeah, indeed.
But it's not really a bad hit, but it's bad enough to have a new beaver panel.
Right.
There's a couple of other jobs over here. This one was just in for you might call it a makeover. Had a small dent in this panel. We repainted that, and the rest of the car has been sort of polished over. We're ready for detailing.
That looks absolutely beautiful.
You might remember.
Oh, I know this car.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would remember. It's one of the members' cars.
That's right, with Sandra Bateman's 190.
Yeah, and it was sold at Shannon's. I was there.
That's right.
Spencer was there, and he was really happy to see it go to somebody that...
Go to a good family.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I didn't buy it, but I was there, and now the owner wants it in perfect condition. So we're now spraying a little bit around the car, and then the rest of it is going to be detailed, so it's ready for Concours as well. Once again, there's a couple of cars going to Concours. Be a bit of a letdown.
Oh, well, yeah, what a shame. Let's hope it's this year. But that's going to look absolutely stunning, isn't it?
Oh, it'll look fantastic, yeah.
I think
it was great in the first place. Now the owner wants it to look better than new, I think.
Is this signal red, this one?
Is it, sorry?
Is it signal red, do you know this one?
I'm not sure of the actual name of the colour, but he's gone to the trouble of making the seats, redoing seats, redoing bits and pieces in the car, which has been really a plus for him.
Wow.
Perfect.
Who did the interior?
Yeah, we did all the interior.
Did John... was it...
I'm not sure who it was.
It's a beautiful job.
Yeah, beautiful job. Other than that, there's a couple of cars. There's one over here. It's a small, very small job. Very small job. It's got that through there. Actually needs a bumper bar because it's been pushed in. But as you can see, it really needs to have the whole front pulled apart, lights, bonnet will end up having to be repainted, and the guard, that sort of thing. So it's a very small job. But
goodness me, what a lot of work for just a small bump.
Well, it's a pearl colour, so therefore it really needs to be repainted and blended in all sorts of areas.
Yeah, right.
That's about it. There's another one just over here being prepared.
Yeah, should be able to.
This one's finished, ready to go. Probably just need to put the tail lights in, and that's ready to go. This job here, the gentleman had a bit of a scrape in the side here, and now we're actually getting it ready for paintwork.
Right. And you've got the oven here where we bake them when they're done?
Correct.
So to speak?
There's a spray painter in there now.
Right.
We're quite fortunate. We've got a lot of Mercedes here today, and you've turned up at the right time.
Come at the right time, yeah. Indeed. Another one there.
So that's our little tour.
Mercalicious, thank you, Sam.
Yeah, I'm pleased to have you here as a guest.
So
You're
how long
always
has-
welcome.
Thank you, mate. How long has the workshop been here?
Well, we got here in the year 2000, and here we are in 2020.
20
so
years.
20 years exactly.
And I recall on 10-10-10, you put together a little show.
A little show.
You remember that?
Yeah, it was pretty serious, I think. Yeah, well, with the good help of yourself and Ben and many of the members from Mercedes-Benz Club, we were very fortunate to put a wonderful show at Manly. St Patrick's College, correct.
That's right.
Yeah, and look, I think everybody might have remembered that day because it might have been the closest thing to Pebble Beach ever in Australia.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And the big thing about it now is that assisted me in doing many shows in Australia and bringing it right to the top world level, which actually I have been elected as an international chief judge in what they call ICJAG, and from that I got into Pebble Beach as well as a judge.
What is ICJ, Sam?
It's the International Chief Judges Advisory Group.
Right.
And I'm one of the 30 in those judges in the world. What happens, Vince, is that if you could appreciate, there's a hierarchy, a chief judge at an event, and then it comes down to a chief class judge, and then 2 class judges. So 3 judges walk around the car, a chief class judge. When they've gone through that whole class, then the results out of that goes to the chief judge. And what the international chief judges do is not only train a chief judge, but yet they train right down to a normal class judge, then a chief class judge. So you've got a very good education program going on where the actual concours today are right up to the level of Pebble Beach.
And you guys are doing Zoom meetings with some of these judges all over the world, aren't you?
Correct. Yeah, we have one meeting a month, which there's judges go on Zoom and Skype to discuss what's going on all around all the events all around the world. There's judges from France, Italy, UK, US, many from the US, myself and John Virgo, who's in Melbourne. We're here from Australia, but there's the 30 judges are spread right throughout the world.
And those judges would go to different shows throughout the world to judge as well.
Yeah, what happens, Vince, is that the international chief judges, they've basically got that level because if a chief judge goes and judges that particular show, that becomes a very high level show as well. So if a show brings in a couple of those big shot judges, you might say, that show becomes a very high level because it's sticking to the rules of proper preservation and correct restoration.
But we're talking about very experienced judges here because, I mean, there's people like yourself and others that have judged at Pebble Beach.
Well, that's true. It's a funny story because when I was first asked to judge, they said, would you like to judge in the preservation class? Well, I think they must have seen how old I was and they just gave me the job. But at the end of the day, what it was about is making sure that cars are well preserved. And it's a little bit like a historic house, making sure that everything is exactly the way it was when it was first built. So that's the part of preservation. And then the experience comes in where if a judge is judging a restored car, what will happen is that restoration needs to be as good, if not better, than the original. It's only original once, but if someone restores it, they've got to have all that sort of knowledge and information to put that car back to its authentic level.
Magnificent. All right, well, thanks very much for your time, Sam. Congratulations on the work that you've been doing, and thanks for supporting the club as well.
Well, thanks very much, Vince, and any time. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.